Smart homeowners should know that a thermostat that only runs on batteries can seem dead during a condensate event because a float safety switch may be cutting power on the R wire. If your system uses a float safety switch, understand that many modern HVAC units route the R or hot 24-volt supply through that switch, so it turns off the system when condensate backs up. A battery-only thermostat will still light from its own batteries, but can appear non-functional because the thermostat needs the R and C circuit behavior to call for cooling or to show system status. First, check the drain pan and condensate line for clogs and confirm whether the float switch is engaged by physically lifting it and seeing if the HVAC restores power. That isolates whether the float is cutting the R wire. Second, measure voltage between the R and C terminals with a multimeter. You want about 24 volts AC when the float is not tripped. If you only see battery voltage or nothing, you likely lack a proper common wire. Third, if the float switch does interrupt the R feed, retrofit a hardwired thermostat powered from both R and C instead of relying on battery-only models, or install a compatible thermostat designed to tolerate open safety circuits, and that can detect calling behavior without constant R power. Fourth, if running a new C wire is difficult, consider using a power extender kit that uses existing wires to recreate a stable common reference, but only use kits proven compatible with float switch circuits and follow manufacturer wiring diagrams. Fifth, when replacing float switches, choose normally closed float switches that open only on overflow so the control wiring behaves predictably. Avoid adding relays without understanding whether you need isolation between low voltage and safety circuit. Sixth, document every wire at both the furnace and thermostat, label them, and photograph before disconnecting so you can restore correct connections. Seventh, when in doubt, add an isolation relay powered by the furnace 24-volt transformer so the float switch only interrupts the relay coil and not the thermostat supply, keeping the thermostat lit while still protecting the equipment. Eighth, always follow electrical codes and manufacturer clearances, and if you are not fully confident with low voltage HVAC wiring, hire a licensed HVAC technician. One of the common mistakes is assuming battery-powered thermostats will always operate with condensate safety switches. Fix by confirming float switch wiring and using thermostats compatible with open safety circuits or wiring a dedicated common. Another frequent issue is miswiring the R and C terminals during replacement, which causes no 24-volt supply. Fix by tracing and labeling wires at the furnace, verifying with a multimeter, and adding a true C wire or approved power module. The third mistake is bypassing the float safety by hardwiring around it, compromising drain protection, MAI's T-fix, by using an isolation relay or reconfiguring the safety per manufacturer instructions so safety function remains while providing stable thermostat power. BigHomeProjects.com lists vetted local HVAC and electrical contractors and helps homeowners match with technicians experienced with float safety switches and thermostat wiring. The directory also helps contractors get work by showcasing service specialties and verified reviews, so pros who handle complex thermostat and condensate issues find local clients.